In this video, I'm going to share with you the top 10 steps that you can take today if you want to be a freelance online copywriter who eventually makes over $10,000 every single month with freelance copywriting. Now, I'm just going to hit you where the rubber meets the road, my friends. If you're looking for a reliable way to actually start making money online with nothing but your own skills, then copywriting is essentially the best way possible. You can start from anywhere in the world, even if you're in a third world country. You can start even if you are any age, right? Even if you're a teenager, even if you're 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and so on and so forth. And you don't need any past or prior experience in marketing or sales or online business. In fact, my friends, all you need is the 10 steps that I'm going to lay out for you in this very video. And make sure you stick around, because not only am I going to be revealing these 10 steps and how to do them, but I'm also going to show you how to actually learn to do them and more in-depth breakdowns and analysis on how to do them for absolutely free on this channel. Because look, there are students who are closing $3,000 clients every single day, and there's simply no reason why you cannot be next. And if you don't believe me, there are tons of interviews on this very channel that will prove it. So without any further ado, let's hop right into this 10-step list to get started with online freelance copywriting. So step number one is, of course, to graduate copywriting kindergarten, which sounds simple. Sounds easy, it sounds straightforward. And while it is, there are some things that you need to watch out for. So look, this step is essentially just how it sounds. You need to learn the basics of copywriting. But here's the thing, is that copywriting takes maybe a day to learn, but it takes years and years to actually master. And that's why my number one piece of advice when you're first starting out with copywriting is to get your reps in. You have to write more pieces of copy. People ask me all the time, yo, Tyson, how do I get good at copy if I'm on my third day? Dude, write more pieces. You haven't written enough pieces of copy to even consider yourself to be good. Like, don't write your first piece of copy and then send it to me and say, yo, Tyson, am I good at copywriting yet? Did I do everything right? And then you write your second piece of copy and then you send it to me and you're like, yo, Tyson, am I good yet? Like, no. Think of it this way, okay? And I've thought about this with YouTube as well. And this is how I got really, really great at YouTube, and why this channel is by far the best copywriting channel on all of YouTube. It's because of this. It's because my first 20 videos didn't count. I consider them, they didn't count. I'm just gonna make videos. I'm gonna add as much value in them as possible. I'm not even gonna look at the views. I'm not even gonna look at the subscribers. I'm just gonna upload videos. And you should do the same with copywriting. And I did the same with copywriting. Look, I'm just gonna write my first 20 pieces, my first 50 pieces of copy, and they don't even count. Right? I might send them in for review. I might review other people's copy, but I'm just going to write those pieces of copy before I even consider myself good or look at my skill or actually critique myself. Because the fact of the matter is that you're going to make glaring mistakes in your first pieces of copy. Copywriting isn't really that natural. It's natural because it's how you're supposed to speak. It's supposed to be casual. It's supposed to be personal. But the structure and the marketing message are things that you're going to have to learn over time, because again, it's just not how you've been taught to write before in the past. You've been taught to write in MLA format and cite your sources and your research and things. Those aren't necessarily things that you need to include in your copywriting. So you might as well just learn from scratch, write as many pieces of copy as you can, and just go from there. And just to put it into perspective, I have written thousands of pieces of copy just over the last couple years. I write multiple pieces of copy every single day. And not only that, I've reviewed tens of thousands of pieces of copy over the last couple years, meaning that I've reviewed like a dozen pieces of copy every single day, reviewed them and broken them down so that I can learn and get better. And even considering all that, I am not a master by any means. I ain't the best copywriter out here. It's literally physically impossible for me to be the best copywriter in the world if I've only been doing it a couple years and other people have been doing it for decades. And while that, my friends, is number one, the number one step to starting your copywriting journey, the number two step is to start outreaching. Now, I know this is going to ruffle some feathers, but look, you should start your outreach process as soon as possible. People ask me all the time, well, Tyson, how long should I start writing and practicing copy before I start outreaching? My genuine answer is you got to start outreaching probably the first week, okay? My genuine answer is you should be outreaching the first week, if not the first day that you even learn about copywriting. Now, look, I get it. Right? It's counterintuitive. It seems counterintuitive. Why would I start outreaching if I'm not good at copywriting it? And I just admitted that you're probably going to suck for your first couple of weeks. Well, here's the thing. Copywriting is a skill, okay? Copywriting is a great way to get paid because you're essentially just bringing a high value skill to the table. And outreach is a skill as well. Outreach, you need multiple reps. You need days and days and weeks of practice to actually get good at it, to get reliable, and also to get efficient at it. So let's say you actually just start copywriting and you're practicing for months and months on end, and then you start outreaching. In your mind, it's going to be easier to get clients because you're good at copywriting, right? Well, the problem is, again, you haven't actually developed your outreach skill at all. So now you're going to have to essentially start from square one. And now you're going to have to go through the whole sucking process with outreach at a different time, when you could literally go through the sucking at copywriting part and the sucking at outreach part at the same time. And then once you're good at copywriting, you'll also be good at outreach. I mean, to me, it's a complete no-brainer. But the biggest reason as to why I see people stall is because they'd rather be just in their room writing some copy and not have to deal with the pain of getting rejected by clients, getting said no to, or having people say yes and then cancel on them last minute. And look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Outreaching is sometimes going to suck. I mean, maybe you're going to get lucky and get a client on your 5th outreach, but you probably won't. So you might as well just rip the Band-Aid off and just go for it. And I'll leave you with this one last point, is that the best way to get great at copywriting is simply just to write for an actual client, even if they don't pay you that much. Because here's a funny thing. You can get paid to practice and you can earn while you learn. So you could be sat in your room practicing copy, writing copy for people who don't even know you exist, or you can actually get your first client, write copy for them, and even if they don't pay you in money, or even if they pay you somewhere down the line, or even if they just pay you in commission, dude, you're already in the game. You're already a professional copywriter. Now you have someone to point to saying, look, I wrote copy for them, and if I wrote copy for them and was able to get them results, I can write copy for you and do the same thing. It's going to help you get more clients down the line. So like I said, complete no-brainer. Number 2 is to start outreaching as soon as possible. And now look, if my math is correct, we should be moving on to point number 3 right now, which is to build your copywriting portfolio. And this one is crucial. Guys, when people are considering hiring you, they're going to ask to see some of your work. And if you're the dude who's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll show you some of my work, just give me a minute and I'll put it up into a Google Doc. And then you send them over this lazy Google Doc, you have like a couple emails in there and it just looks dumb. That doesn't look good for you, okay? That does not bode well for you. What you're going to want to do instead is to have an intentional portfolio that looks amazing, that if a potential client comes across your portfolio, they are going to want to work with you no matter what. Because the fact of the matter is that being a copywriter without a portfolio is a lot like being a doctor, but you never went to med school. Do you want that person to operate on you? No, of course you don't. But Tyson, how do I actually go about creating my own copywriting portfolio that is going to blow these potential clients away? Well, there's a couple ways to do that. Remember when I told you have to write hundreds of pieces of copy? Dude, put all of your best pieces of copy inside of this portfolio. And don't just add emails either. Add emails, add video sales letters, sales pages, and so on and so forth. You want different pieces of copywriting. And not to mention, it's always going to help if you actually have your past experience and the clients you've worked for also in your portfolio. And look, even if you haven't worked with any clients before in the past, you can still use your portfolio to actually get clients in the future, because people are going to ask you if you have quote unquote experience. What they're really asking you is, can you be trusted with the copy in my business? And if you show them your portfolio, even if you haven't worked with any clients before in the past, they can see that you've actually been busy. You've been hard at work. You've been learning your skill. And look, guys, I've literally used portfolios to close so many clients before in the past. Okay. And not only just me, but my students as well, my one-to-one private students. So stop slacking, make sure you build your portfolio, and of course, use it to get your next copywriting client. And now we go to the number 4 out of 10 step to actually become a full-time freelance copywriter, making over $10,000 every single month, is to build your personal brand. And this, guys, this is one of the most overlooked parts of all of copywriting. People are going to want to know who you are. And here is the kicker. People ask me all the time, Tyson, should I build myself a website? Should I build myself a website where, I show some of my work and I show my experience and I show my portfolio and stuff? My answer is always going to be no. Why would you build a website when you can just build a personal brand on social media? And here's why. When you outreach to somebody on Instagram, for example, you don't have to ask them to check out your profile. They're going to check out your profile regardless. So the best thing you can do is to have an awesome profile already set up. Whereas if you build a website, you're gonna have to then send them a sketchy link that they don't know what it is, what contains in it. Then they're gonna have to click it. Then they're gonna have to go through your website. And also, building a website is so much harder than just creating an Instagram. You already know how to use Instagram, most likely. All you gotta do is put up a couple posts, a couple reels, maybe a couple captions about business. put up some stories about your personal life to where it looks like you're a real human being. And of course, people are then going to know, like, and trust you because you are proven. People can see actually when your first post was, so they see when you started copywriting, how long you've been doing it for, and so on and so forth. And again, even if you don't have a lot of experience, that's really no excuse as to not being able to get clients, because you can just show yourself doing high value activities. Maybe you're at the beach, maybe you're at a vacation destination, maybe you're buy a really cool car, but all of these things are going to raise your perceived value to where, sure, maybe you've never had a copywriting client before, but you look like somebody who is competent. And that, my friends, is what really matters. And of course, I'm going to end it off with this. Who would you rather work with? A dude with a blank profile, right? No bio. His display picture is just the default display picture. Maybe he has one post. It's him in a dark room with some gaming headphones on. And that is it. Would you rather work for that dude or the dude with a built out profile? You see who he is. You see where he is. You see him doing a whole bunch of high value stuff. You see him dressed in a suit maybe and all this other cool stuff. You're going to want to work with that person way more than the first person. And don't forget that the clients that are going to pay us $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month are already getting outreach to on a daily basis. So if we want to stand out, not only does our outreach have to be different, but also our profile has to look way better. And look, speaking of Instagrams, you can go follow mine. It is at Tyson Scales. On there, you're going to get exclusive copywriting content that's not found on YouTube. And also, you can just see how I do the whole Instagram thing and how I built my own personal brand so that you can get some inspiration as well. Okay, so now that we have the first 4 steps out of the way, we have reached the halfway mark, which is step number 5, which is to team up with other copywriters. Now, this one is extremely underrated, okay? Because as the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Look, this is a step that most people skip, but what they don't realize is that lone wolves die, and that is just the truth. So what you should do is team up with other copywriters, meet them, hold each other accountable, share your findings, and actually work together to go ahead and advance your copywriting journey and your copywriting careers together. Look, picture it this way. Picture 4 people ruthlessly going towards their goals, sharing their experiences, telling people what worked and what didn't work, and showing people exactly how they're getting clients as well. And when one person wins, everybody wins. And look, I get it. It's going to be hard for you to find other people who are on the exact same copywriting journey as you are, but with the free 4D copywriting Discord server, that is now not an issue. All you need to do is go in there. You can meet other people in the general chat so you can see who's winning in the wins section. And also, yeah, I get it. You're not going to find a whole bunch of people who are just like you, but all you need to do is introduce yourself to a few people, and eventually you're going to find 1 or 2 people who you actually connect with. And again, all you need to do is team up with them, work together, and it will help you in your copywriting journey every single step of the way. And now, of course, we come to step number 6, which is to get your first low-paying client. Now, I get it. This might sound easier said than done, but the fact of the matter is, if you've done every step correctly up until this point, there is no reason why you can't get your first low-paying client in at least a couple of months, okay? At most a couple of months. Usually it doesn't take that long, but that's how long it should take. Now, again, this is essentially where you get a low-risk offer. So you give them a offer of, I'll work for you on a free trial, or I'll work with you on commission, or I'll work with you for just a discovery project that's going to be $300, $500, $600 and compensate for your lack of experience. But look, once you've reached this point and you've made your first dollar online, you can now say, of course, that you are a professional copywriter making money. And now, of course, you can leverage your experience not only on your profile and talk about how you actually made other businesses money, but you can also use this experience in your outreach. And with this first low-paying client, you're going to want to go balls to the wall and over-deliver like crazy. If they ask you for 5 pieces of copy, you give them 6. If they ask for you to get it done by Thursday, you get it done by Wednesday, okay? This is the best way to actually ensure that you lock in this client and potentially make more money with them down the line and also get referrals from them. And now, once you've done all of that, all of those 6 steps, there's no reason why you can't get to step number 7, which is to get your first $3,000 a month retainer client. Now, let me explain this to you in plain English. So when it comes to getting a $3,000 a month retainer client, these are clients that are not going to be as scarce as it feels, okay? They're out there and they're willing to pay easily $3,000 or more. And here's why. Look, the lowest paid person on a team is usually making around $2,000 or $3,000 every single month. Now, $2,000 a month is $24,000 a year. That's literally way less than minimum wage. So you making $2,000 or $3,000 from a person working for them essentially full time is not going to be a crazy concept to them. The great thing about copywriting is that you can get full-time wages, but only work pretty much part-time, meaning like 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day, or even less for certain clients. Now, all you need to do is get 3 separate clients that are going to pay you $3,000 a month, and right there is $9,000 every single month. You get one of them paying you $4,000 a month, and right there you're at that shiny $10,000 a month number. But of course, if you want to reach your first $3,000 a month copywriting client, there are a few strategies that you have to implement into your outreach process. And the first and foremost is to start outreaching to bigger companies that are more likely to pay you more money. So this looks like people who are not solopreneurs. They're not people who just work on their own. They're people who already have a team of 5 to 10 people. And I get it. These people are going to be harder to contact, and they're also going to be harder to convince them to actually work with you. But the big thing here that you're going to want to remember is to just give tons and tons of value in your initial outreach. This is how you actually get people to trust you, even if you don't have any experience, because you're showing what you know. And when you show what you know, and you show that you can be known, liked, and trusted, then now people are going to want to work with you. Even if they're a bigger company and you don't have that much experience, they're going to like that you're actually out here working hard. They're going to see the grind, see the hustle, and they're going to give you a shot. And that's all you need. All you need is one chance, one shot, and it can completely change your life. And of course, that leads us to step number 8, which is to learn a secondary skill. Guys, learning a secondary skill is something that I've been preaching for a very, very long time. This is how you become highly paid and not have to work very much. This is how you become irreplaceable by AI. This is how you become irreplaceable by any other copywriter in the industry as well. Because look, if you have other skills like email marketing, digital marketing, funnel building, landing page creation, now you're literally playing the game on easy mode because you have all of these high value skills that nobody else has. So who's going to replace you? And also, you're going to be able to outreach to more clients and offer them more things. Because look, this is what the copywriting journey looks like. And this is essentially why this video you're watching right now is so important. Because look, yes, you start out as a copywriter because copywriting is simple. It's a simple way to understand marketing. It's just one small skill. But eventually, after you've been doing it for a while, now you can start to branch out your supporting skills and you can become a digital marketer. Once you're a digital marketer and you understand marketing, you will never go hungry. You can do anything you want. You can not only just work for more clients, you can start your own agency, you can outsource your work, you can also start your own business if you'd like to. That's what I did. And there's literally zero limit to your earning potential or your income potential. And now you're going to want to go to step 9, which is to land multiple $3,000 a month copywriting clients so you can get to $6,000 a month to $8,000 a month. And one of the easier ways to do this without having to outreach is to actually apply for copywriting jobs. Now, this is something that I only recommend you do once you're at this step, because if you're applying to copywriting jobs, but you're still a noob, chances are you're just going to lose out to other copywriters. So once you actually have the skills to pay the bills, you've worked with multiple clients, you've gotten them really good results, and you are actually confident in your copywriting and marketing abilities. Now, once you start applying for copywriting jobs, you're going to get a lot of opportunity, and it's also going to not take that much work. All you need to do is optimize your portfolio, optimize your personal brand, and optimize your resume. And now you have a great chance of actually getting copywriting clients without having to do hundreds of outreaches first. And possibly the best part about getting to step number 9 is that you get to buy your time back. You get to quit going to university or school, or you get to quit your 9-to-5 job and you get to do copywriting full time. And now that you've bought your time back, of course, it's going to be way easier to scale your income from there. And now, of course, is the last and final step, which is step number 10, is to start making $10,000 a month and building out your network. Guys, the longer I stay in business, the more that this one rule makes sense to me, which is that it pays to know people. And it might not pay you or pay off right away, but it will eventually. Imagine you're in the industry, you're working for multiple clients that are paying you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 every single month, but you know everybody as well. You know all the people on their teams, you know all the other copywriters on their teams as well. And now, whenever they're on other teams or people switch from business to business and business to business, or they know other business owners and they know somebody who knows a copywriter, who's the first person that you think they are going to recommend? They're going to recommend you. And look, at this level, when you're making $10,000 a month, it's all about efficiency. And one of the most efficient ways to get more clients is to just be well known. And the funny story is, this is actually how I got one of my very first $2,000 a month copywriting clients. I worked for somebody on a free trial that didn't actually end up working out, but I met somebody somebody on their team, which brought me onto their agency, and they were paying me $2,000 a month. And I eventually was making $4,000 a month with that person, just because I started with a free trial with someone. I worked really hard for them, and they seen that I actually got them really good results, and I made friends with everybody on that team. So he of course knew me, he liked me, and he trusted me, and he got me on his team, and I was making money with him as well. But look, no matter what stage you're at, whether it's step number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, there is something on this channel for you. So what I've done is I've taken the liberty to distill my top 10 copywriting videos that will show you every single part of the process. These are videos that are going to show you from start to finish how to do everything that I mentioned. So how to start copywriting, how to start outreaching, how to outreach and get clients without any experience, how to build your copywriting portfolio, how to learn the secondary skills, and basically everything in between. So that playlist will be on screen for you to watch now. You can just click on it and watch it after this video, or I'll also leave another video up there if you're interested in watching that. And of course, everyone, that has been it for today, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.